They laughed at crypto for years, called it a scam, called it rat poison, but now those same elites are quietly buying in, and XRP could be right at the center of their plan. And in this video, I'm gonna basically break down how some of the biggest names in finance went from mocking crypto to actually loading up, what that shift means for XRP's role in global payments, and of course today's XRP price action and where the charts could be headed next. Okay, but before we dive in, I just want to have a quick note here. I use BITUNIX for my XRP trades. It keeps things very simple, and I left the link down in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. All right, okay, so let's dive in. For over a decade, the loudest voices in finance shaped how Wall Street looked at crypto, and Warren Buffett called Bitcoin rat poison squared. And Ray Dalio said it was very dangerous and wouldn't even last. And Larry Fink, the head of BlackRock, brushed it off as nothing more than money laundering technology.
What I think about most of these cryptocurrencies, it just identifies how much money laundering there is being done in the world, how much people are trying to move currencies from one place to another.
So these weren't just random critics, and these were actually the guys at the top of global finance, and their words carried weight. But here's where it actually gets very, very interesting. What they say publicly and what they actually do with their money are two completely different stories. So, for example, take Warren Buffett. He still jokes about Bitcoin every chance he gets. But look at where his company, which is Berkshire Hathaway, has put its money. They invested over $1 billion into Nubank, which is Brazil's biggest digital bank, and Nubank, they're not shy about crypto at all. Millions of their customers are actually trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, even XRP. So, like it or not, Buffett is indirectly exposed to crypto through that play. And Ray Dalio's another one, which is for years he warned people to stay away, and then his tune changed.
Personally, I'd rather have Bitcoin than a bond.
Now he calls Bitcoin digital gold, and he says it can work as a safe haven when fiat currencies weaken. And sure, he still says that governments might try to control it if it grows too powerful, but that's not even dismissal anymore. That's acknowledgement. And he's saying it has value that's too big to ignore as well. And then there is Larry Fink. His U-turn is probably the most dramatic one out of all three. A few years ago, he was basically dismissing crypto completely, and now BlackRock, the firm he runs, launched the iShares Bitcoin Trust, so ticker IBIT, and that fund alone holds more than 700,000 Bitcoin. That's nearly 3% of the total supply that will ever exist. And IBIT isn't just successful, it's the fastest growing investment fund in history. And BlackRock is already pushing further, looking into ETFs tied to Solana and Cardano, and experimenting with tokenization as well. In that way, turning traditional assets like real estate, stocks and bonds into digital tokens that actually run on blockchain rails. So if the biggest asset manager in the world is experimenting with tokenized assets, do you really think that they believe crypto is just a passing trend? There is no way. They're literally building the financial rails of the future. And it's not just individuals or companies, it's actually institutions are moving too. The IMF now recognizes Bitcoin as legitimate asset class, and reports suggest that the US government is sitting on more than 200,000 Bitcoin from seizures. El Salvador put coin into its national treasury, and even though they've slowed down their buying, they basically haven't sold. They're still holding. So while the public message from elites has been crypto is risky, their money actually says something else entirely. And this is where XRP comes in. If Bitcoin is the vault, the digital gold, XRP is the plumbing. Right now, cross-border payments are broken, and they're slow, they're expensive, and they trap trillions of dollars in Nostra Vostra accounts. Ripple's technology powered by XRP fixes that entirely. It allows money to actually move instantly across borders. Ripple's already connected to banks in more than 70 countries as well. They're basically building on ISO 20022 standards that are rolling out globally, and they've even applied for a US banking license. And here's how I like to think about it. Gold sitting in a vault has value, but if you don't have roads, rails, and ships, you can't move goods around the world. That's XRP. So we can easily say that it's a bridge that allows money to flow smoothly. And every time a transaction goes through, a little bit of XRP gets burned, shrinking supply over time as demand grows. And now if we zoom into the charts, as of today, XRP is trading right around $3.01, up about 3% in the past 24 hours. Volume has actually slowed down, which usually signals that consolidation, the calm before the next move. Support right now is sitting around $2.90 to $3, with deeper support at $2.64. So if those levels hold, the structure stays bullish. And on the upside, resistance is right around 320 to 330, which is a clean breakout there with strong volume and could open the door to actually a 370 or even $4. So the technicals, we can say, look solid. The 50-day moving average is about above the 200-day. That's the golden cross as well. So price is holding above both of them, which shows that bullish momentum. And while trading volume is lower than earlier spikes this year, that often actually means that markets just consolidating, building just strength for the next leg higher. And if volume comes back in while XRP holds above 250, we can say the move could happen fast. So when you connect all of this together, the picture is very, very clear. You've got elites like Buffett, Dalio, and BlackRock publicly dismissing crypto but quietly stocking it. And you've got Ripple building out the financial plumbing for the future. And you've got governments and institutions rewriting the rules so crypto becomes like part of the system instead of just being pushed out. So the story they tell the public is still crypto is risky, but the reality is crypto is the future, and XRP isn't just along for the ride as well. It's being positioned as the bridge that makes the whole system actually work. So let me ask you this. Do you think elites are just setting this up so that they can just control crypto the same way that they've controlled everything else? Or do you think is this the start of a more open system where assets like XRP finally get their moment? Drop your thoughts down below in the comment section. And of course, remember, if you want to follow along with how I'm trading XRP, I keep everything very transparent on BITUNIX, and the link is in the description if you want to check it out. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. I will see you in the next one.